All right, ladies and gentlemen, good evening. The time is now 7:30, and I'd like to call this April 12th meeting of the City Council to order. In that order, I'd like you to stand and join me for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And would the clerk please call roll?
McHale. Here. Budmatz.
Present.
O'Brien.
Here.
Alderman Veneziano is absent. Bessetti.
Here.
Reyes.
Here.
Sonoyka.
Here.
With 6 present and 1 absent, there is a quorum this evening, and therefore members of the audience are reminded that these proceedings are being recorded for current and future broadcasts over the city's cable television channel, as well as other media outlets. Looks like the first order of business tonight is to approve minutes from a previous meeting. It looks like we have 2 sets of minutes to approve. The first set is from the Committee of the Whole meeting on March 15th, 2022. Is there a motion to approve this set of minutes?
So moved.
Thank you, Alderman McHale. Thank you, Alderman O'Brien, for the second. I'll get you next time, Alderman Bessetti. Thanks for everyone's participation. Are there any corrections, additions, or deletions to this set of minutes? Seeing none, the question is, shall the minutes be approved? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say nay. And the ayes have it. Those minutes are approved. This brings us to the second set of minutes, which is for March 22nd, 2022. It's a city council meeting. Is there a motion to approve this set of minutes?
So moved.
Thanks, Alderman O'Brien.
I thought you were going to go either side of the room.
Is there a second? Thanks, Alderman Bessetti, for the second. Are there any corrections, additions, or deletions to this set of minutes? Seeing none, the question is, shall this set of minutes be approved? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say nay. The ayes have it, and those minutes are approved. Moving on from the previous meeting minutes would be the mayor's report, and I do not have anything to report this evening. Are there any ward reports? Alderman McHale, then Alderman O'Brien.
Not really a ward report, but just a reminder that we are doing a Sip and Paint fundraiser at Reps Place on April 24th. It's Sunday from 1 to 4. It's $45 a person. You can contact Lori Cizak or go on the city website to get more additional information, and I look forward to seeing everybody there. Thank you.
Thank you. Alderman O'Brien.
Great. Thanks, Ms. Mayor. Wanted to provide the monthly update summary from the EDC meeting that we had last week. A few key items to note is that we did review a draft policy from staff regarding an application that would be new for the Class 6B property tax incentives. This will be reviewed as noted in our packet for the April Committee of the Whole meeting by the full council. Circling back to our goals, is we had great discussion around previous council discussion and the comprehensive plan, where EDCs continue to work on development of program details for landscaping and outdoor seating. We're kind of using the Rolling Meadows Plaza here on Kirchhoff as our first template as we dip our toe into the water there, with just some ideas about some things. Obviously, there have to be engagement with the landlords and things like that, but that seemed to be the top priority that the group talked about this time, was coming up with some mock-up things and bringing it back to council. Probably not the May meeting, but we would probably have it for the June council committee of the whole to take a look at if we have some mocked up screen, I'm going to call them screen prints or draft things to look at. We did decide at this time to put a pause on the goal of wayfinding signage and other signage. We did have that on our initial list, but after discussion, we know there's other initiatives within the pipeline for the ITOT bridge overpass. We know that's still many years away, but we were going to try and work some along with that, as well as overall signage we thought was outside the EDC purview as we started to look more into it as well. Couple things that I provided updates on before, and they are continuing to move forward. A new restaurant is in the process of finalizing a lease for Great American Bagel location, and other approvals, as well as a new business license in the process for the Old Pepe slash Sabrosa over on Wilkie as well. What will be coming before the council, as we saw in our packet on the draft agendas, is Ming Hin is looking for the potential of a video gaming accessory that will be coming before the council, and then Anna's Red Apple is interested in renewing their video gaming license that they did let lapse last year. Those were the updates we received, and we'll have more after the May meeting.
Thanks, Alderman O'Brien. Any other ward reports this evening? Okay, if no further ward reports, then we will move on to the next section of this evening's agenda, which is opening the floor to the public for 20 minutes. And I do have a signature on the sign-in sheet. So prior to asking those to come up, I'm going to read some rules and procedures just to lay the groundwork. And in order to attain this objective, the following rules of conduct are hereby established. Any person who seeks to address the City Council at this time for public comments shall be permitted to speak only upon recognition of the presiding officer, and such persons shall adhere to the following provisions. Each person addressing the City Council shall state their name for the record. Each person shall be granted no more than 5 minutes of the allotted 20 minutes in order to address the City Council. Questions and/or commentary shall be limited to city business. Comments supporting or opposing a nominated person's candidacy for elective office of the city shall be out of order. Commentary shall be directed to the presiding officer unless the presiding officer permits the individual to address the council members or other city officers present. Discussion shall take place in a professional manner, which displays mutual respect. And of course, profanity shall not be used in any form or manner. And so with that, the first and only name on this evening's sign-in sheet is Akili Parnell, here to discuss item B on this evening's agenda. Akili?
Thank you, Mayor Gallo. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Akili Parnell. I'm CEO of 11th Level Inc. We are the craft grow establishment seeking approval of the special use permit today. I just wanted to introduce myself, say a couple words, and state that I'm available for questions. We've been in the industry for several years now. My background is as an attorney. This will be a highly secure, highly professional, industrial manufacturing facility. It won't increase the presence of any sort of cannabis products in City of Rolling Meadows, available for consumers. We're not a consumer-facing business. Everything, it would be very minimal traffic. Our retail store is in Lincoln Park, and so the vast majority of our products will be sold there. We look forward to, if we get the opportunity, and working with the City of Rolling Meadows and being a great business neighbor. So just want to say that and say that I'm available for any questions or anything like that about our special use. Thank you.
Thank you. So closing the section of public comments, we'll move on to items pending. We'll start with line item A, which is ordinance number 22-13, which is to amend various sections of Chapter 122 of the Code of Ordinances of the City of Rolling Meadows to update and clarify certain provisions of the zoning. Is there a motion to adopt this ordinance?
So moved, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Alderman McHale. Thank you, Alderman O'Brien, for the second. Is there any discussion on it? Seeing none, the question is, shall the ordinance be adopted? Will the clerk please call the roll?
Reyes.
Yes.
Sonoyka.
Yes.
McHale.
Yes.
Bud Matts.
Yes.
O'Brien.
Yes.
Bessetti.
Yes.
With 6 in favor and none opposed, this ordinance is adopted. This brings us to line item B, ordinance number 22-14, to grant approval of a text amendment to section 122-85I2 of the City of Rolling Meadows Zoning Code of Ordinances to increase the number of available adult-use cannabis business licenses from 1 to 2, a special use for an adult-use cannabis craft grow business establishment, a variance to section 122-163 of the City of Rolling Meadows Zoning Code of Ordinances to reduce the number of required parking spaces from 107 to 25, and other relief necessary to accommodate the craft grow establishment for 11th Level Inc. at 1125 Carnegie Street. Is there a motion to adopt this ordinance?
So moved.
Thank you, Alderman Reyes. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Alderman McHale, for the second. Is there any discussion on this item? Alderman O'Brien.
I'm just going to reiterate again, I know I don't want to sound like a broken record. I'm personally in favor of it, but based on the numerous residents that reached out during our previous topic that was just before this, it was made clear to me that they're not interested in any additional type of cannabis businesses within the city. Again, I'm not opposed to it, but obviously representing the 3rd Ward, I will remain in the negative this evening.
Thank you, Alderman O'Brien. Any other comments for discussion? Alderman Bud Matts.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I am opposed to it. I respect the right of people to have a business in the city. I recognize that growing marijuana is a business and that it's going to bring tax dollars to our city. But but I have a difficult time explaining. I babysat my grandchildren today, and I really don't want my grandkids to say, "Hey, is that where the first place that I got whacked or strung out on drugs? Is that where it came from or was grown?" It provides me with no joy knowing that we're contributing to that so that we can save a few tax dollars for our citizens. I don't see that benefit. I wish that the business we're making, that we're moving into that facility, we're making some kind of durable product, that we can buy and sell at the Walmart. But unfortunately, it's not. But I'll still be voting no because I don't see the long-term benefit to the community in promoting the use of marijuana.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any further discussion on this item? Seeing no further discussion, then the question is, shall the ordinance be adopted? Will the clerk please call the roll?
Sunoika?
Yes.
McHale?
Yes.
Bud Matts?
Nope.
O'Brien?
No.
Bessesi?
Yes.
Reyes?
Yes.
With 4 in favor and 2 opposed, this ordinance is adopted. This brings us to the next item on the agenda, which are the consent ordinances in for first reading. This consists of 2 items. Those are items C and D. Does any alderman wish to remove any of the items from the consent agenda for ordinances? Seeing none, the chair declares it in order for one motion to consider the 2 ordinances in a single motion without debate. Is there such a motion?
So moved, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Alderman McHale. Thank you, Alderman O'Brien, for the second. Beginning with line item C, it's ordinance number 22-00. It's to adopt the City of Rolling Meadows whistleblower reporting policy and procedures. And line item D, ordinance number 22-00 at this time, to authorize disposal of surplus city property and equipment. The question is, shall these ordinances be moved forward for second reading? Will the clerk please call the roll?
McHale?
Yes.
Bud Matts?
Yes.
O'Brien?
Yes.
Bessesi?
Yes.
Reyes?
Yes.
Sunoika?
Yes.
With 6 in favor and none opposed, the ordinances will move forward for second reading. Continuing on to new business, we have line item E, which is a motion to approve payment of bills on warrant for April 12th, 2022. Is there a motion to approve the warrant? Thank you, Alderman O'Brien. Old reliable. Is there a second? Thank you, Alderman Reyes. Is there any discussion on the bills on warrant? Seeing none, the question is, shall the warrant be approved? Will the clerk please call the roll?
Bud Matts?
Yes.
O'Brien?
Yes.
Bessesi?
Yes.
Reyes?
Yes.
Sunoika?
Yes.
McHale?
Yes.
With 6 in favor and none opposed, the warrant is approved. This brings us to the latter item, which are the consent resolutions. This consists of 5 items, and those are items F through J. Does any alderman wish to remove any items from the consent agenda for resolution? Alderman O'Brien.
Item J, just for a quick item.
Sure. Any others that wish to be removed? Okay. If not, then the chair declares it in order for one motion to consider the 4 resolutions in a single motion without debate. Is there such a motion? Thank you, Alderman O'Brien. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Alderman McHale, for the second. Beginning with line item F, resolution number 22-R-36. It's to approve the establishment of a data analyst position and an amendment to the pay plan. Line item G, resolution number 22-R-37 is to authorize a contract for the purchase of a 2023 Freightliner dump truck with snow removal equipment in replacement of RM184/T311. Line item H, resolution number 22-R-38 is to approve a contract for a 2022 annual fire hydrant painting. And line item I, resolution number 22-R-39, is to approve a contract for the purchase of 1 police patrol vehicle. The question is, shall the 4 resolutions be adopted? Will the clerk please call the roll?
O'Brien?
Yes.
Bessesi?
Yes.
Reyes?
Yes.
Sunoika?
Yes.
McHale?
Yes.
Bud Matts?
Yes.
With 6 in favor and none opposed, the resolutions are adopted. This now circles us back to line item J, which is resolution number 22-R-40. It's to approve the reclassification of Campbell Street from Rowling Road to Wilkie Road and of Rowling Road from Kirchhoff Road to Euclid. Is there a motion to adopt this resolution?
So moved.
Thank you, Alderman O'Brien. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Alderman McHale, for the second. Alderman O'Brien, you pulled this line item.
Great. Thanks, Mr. Mayor. And this is just for folks that may be listening in or the recording down the way. I first of all want to thank Rob, and Ryan, our city engineer. Since the bulk of these streets run through the 3rd Ward, I had a handful of residents reach out with questions. I just want to let folks know that thanks to Rob, and this Ryan is the engineer, they confirmed this is strictly a funding step. There's no jurisdiction that we release as the city. There was concerns about speed limit. It does not allow speed limit. It doesn't suddenly allow 18-wheel trucks to come down the street or any other use that could be thought of. So very valid questions. Appreciate the residents reaching out, and thanks to the team here. It is literally a funding mechanism which can get up to, in the example that was provided by the engineer, about 75% of any maintenance on the streets can be funded by a source outside of the city. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Alderman O'Brien. And I think as it's written in the resolution that it's a major and minor collector.
Correct. And that's a great point. We do have, because one of the residents' question was, well, do we have other streets like this? And there are. Ryan and staff gave examples of other streets in town that are currently classified that way.
Thank you. So with that, is there any further discussion on this item? Okay. Seeing no further discussion, then I will ask that the clerk please call the roll.
Bessesi.
Yes.
Reyes.
Yes.
Sunoika.
Yes.
McHale.
Yes.
Budmats.
Yes.
O'Brien.
Yes.
With 6 in favor and none opposed, this resolution is adopted. This now brings us to other business and reports. I do not have any appointments this evening, nor do I have any proclamations. Does the city clerk have anything to report?
No, I just want to remind everybody to submit their ethics statement.
The
for
SEI,
county.
right?
SEI, yep.
Thank you. Well, that'll move us along to city staff reports. And under this section, we have the community items of interest. And for this, I will defer to Lori Cezak. Lori, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Mayor. The 17th annual Taking Care of Business Luncheon will take place on Wednesday, May 18th from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Hosted by the city and the Rolling Meadows Chamber of Commerce, this event offers expanded opportunities for all city businesses and area residents to learn more about the city's economic development initiatives with a keynote presentation by Mayor Joe Gallo. The lunch will take place at Meridian Banquets and costs between $25 and $35 for chamber members and $50 for non-members. To register, visit rmchamber.org or call 847-398-3730. To ensure safe streets in our city, the police department will be participating in the Distracted Driving campaign during the month of April, which will place a major focus on cell phone usage while driving. Police officers will be working to increase awareness of these dangers and encourage all motorists to put away their phones and give driving their full attention. Save a life and consider giving blood on Thursday, April 28th from 1 to 7 p.m. at City Hall, located at 3600 Kirchhoff Road. Appointments are required, and donors can register at www.vitalent.org or call 877-258-4825. Thank you.
Thank you, Lori. Keeping the attention on that side of the room, we'll continue with Martha Cordner, our business advocate, for March New Businesses Report.
Thank you, Mayor and City Council. I'm pleased to announce that we have 7 new businesses for the month of March. 2 personal care providers, one a medical spa, the other a threading and facial salon. We have 2 new industrial users on Industrial Avenue, a gas utility contractor and a supply chain manager, a home occupation as a general contractor, and 2 office users, one a background employment screener and the other a public adjuster. More information on all these new businesses can be found on the new business listing for 2022 on the city website. Thank you.
Thank you, Martha. This brings us to the third item on the staff reports, and it is the April 19th, 2022 Committee of the Whole draft agenda. And for this, I'll defer to Manager Sabo.
Thank you, Mayor Gallant. City Council. For the draft agenda, included on there is a presentation and discussion of the Brookwood detention. This is related to stormwater management in that area. In addition, there's a presentation and discussion of a special service area for the Brookview Sunset Sanitary Sewer. Also included is a review of the city's telephonic attendance ordinance, as well as necessary AV upgrades to enable hybrid attendance. This would be so that anyone participating remotely would be able to do so via webcam and be visible in the council chambers as well as remotely. And lastly, as Alderman O'Brien had mentioned, a presentation and review of a proposed Class 6B policy for the city of Rolling Meadows.
Thank you for that. All good things. Looking forward to those conversations. Moving along and continuing to that vein, on the April 26th City Council draft agenda.
Yes, thank you. So we have the items that were on tonight for the first reading ordinances on for second read, so that includes a whistleblower policy as well as disposal of surplus property. Under consent ordinances for first reading, there's a special use for community church at 2720 Kirchhoff for a Montessori school to operate as an accessory use. Also, we have an adoption of building code amendments and updates, which is a follow-up from the Committee of the Whole presentation of our building code amendments. And lastly, as mentioned by Alderman O'Brien, a consideration of a Class GA liquor license for Ming Hin, pending all items that are required for that consideration are received by the city. In the consent resolutions, we do have a number of different construction and public works related contracts, all of which are being finalized currently. And the agenda itself will be posted in accordance with the Open Meetings Act in advance of the meeting.
Thank you, Manager Sabo. That concludes our city staff reports and brings us to matters not on this evening's agenda. Are there matters not on this evening's agenda? Okay, if there's no further matters to discuss that are not on the agenda, then I would like to entertain a motion to go into closed session under Section 2C11 of the Illinois Open Meeting Act regarding pending litigation. Also under Section 2C2 of the Open Meeting Act regarding union negotiations, and under Section 2C1 of the Open Meeting Act regarding personnel, and finally under Section 2C21 of the Open Meeting Act regarding semi-annual review of closed session minutes. Do I have such a motion? Thank you, Alderman O'Brien. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Alderman McHale, for the second. Don't all speak at once. Is there any discussion on this? If not, then I'll ask that the clerk please call the roll.
Bessetti.
Yes.
Reyes.
Yes.
Sonoyka.
Yes.
McHale.
Yes.
Budmetz.
Yes.
O'Brien.
Yes.
With 6 in favor and none opposed, we will now enter into closed session. The audience and press are advised that we do not anticipate taking any further action upon returning to open session. So with that, I wish you all a wonderful evening. Thank you.